Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa la fahma lana illa ma fahamtana innaka antal jawadul kareem. So this is the course of diagnostic. So we treat three things: jinn, sorcery, and evil eye, ayn. And the base of the treatment is the Quranic water. So the Quran, we read on the water, and the person drinks, washes, and sprays his house. This is the base of the treatment. The effect, the power of Quran in water is much more than simply reading Quran. The difference is as if you are hot and you cool yourself down with the shower, and you cool yourself down with the fan, and now you cool yourself down with the shower. So the shower will be much more effective than the fan. So the base of the treatment is washing with the water for 12 days. And this is for everybody. So in the beginning of the Ruqyah, when I learned with the Sheikh with whom I learned, Mubarak al-Amrani in Paris, so he used to give treatments of 7 days. So we started with that. Then we found more difficult cases and we put it up to 9 days. Then when I came to Africa, I put it up to 12 days because people are more affected and sorceries are stronger in Africa, in Black Africa. And eventually you can even give 12 days morning and evening. So now the treatment we give to everybody is 12 days. So to put the Quran in water, we used to read on the water. And now we're using the paper that we print with all the verses to put in the water. Yet, if you are in a situation where you cannot get the paper, so you must read. So the same Ruqyah we read on the patients, and the oil, and the incense, and the kuhl, the surma, and any other products if it has needed to be done. So that is the Ruqyah we read on the water. That is the same Ruqyah we read on the water. So concerning the house, actually now we give it systematically to everybody. Spraying the house is to remove the jinn, the sihr, the sorcery, or also the ayn, but not usually ayn on the house, nazar, evil eye. It's mostly jinns and also sorcery. Well, as I'm saying that when someone is going to spray the house, he must make sure to spray all the surface. Some people say and teach to spray the corners. I don't believe in that. I believe all the surface has to be sprayed. We happened that one person, we gave him to spray the house once, twice, and still he had problems of jinn. And when we came, there was one brick in his in the floor that is underground. So in the garage underground. So it wasn't, the walls weren't painted, it was just naturally, and one brick was broken, and inside the brick all the jinns were hidden there. So if it is a problem of jinns, you must make sure to spray all the corners. And the bed is very often the target, the bed where of the couple. Subhanallah, one woman just told me today or yesterday that she was having very bad dreams, and she was having wetting herself in her bed, urinating on herself, and she had to wake up every 1 or 2 hours to go, and someone came to her house, so she left him in her bed, she went somewhere else, and she was sleeping very well. So subhanallah, after she had tried many ruqyas, then she discovered that the problem was in the bed. So when you spray the bed, make sure you do all the parts, all the different parts of the bed. You take off the mattress and do the inside. So this is for spraying the house. I was saying that the base of the treatment is using the water. Using the water to wash, to drink. While the drinking is not so essential. It is, especially if the person is drinking sana every morning. So there's no need to drink many times in the day the Quranic water. Anyway, it's not essential. The essential is the bathing, and the drink will help also to drink many times in the day from that water. So we treat sihr, sorcery, jinn, and evil eye, and the base of the treatment is the water. Now, for the evil eye, for the ayn, the water is sufficient, except if the evil eye is so strong that it is affecting the body or affecting the life of the person. When the evil eye becomes very strong, it becomes like magic, it becomes like sorcery. So when it becomes like that, we treat the evil eye as if it was sorcery. For example, I had a young girl, she was blonde and bright eyes, and she was Arab, but she was looking like Barbie. So she had too much evil eye, because all the mothers were looking at her, what a nice girl, what a girl this, what a girl that. So all her hair fell down, and she had eczema on the head, and that became awful, became very bad. You see, so because the evil eye was so much on her, so much, you can imagine all these women that have black hair and dark skin, and they're looking at this girl which is so beautiful, so yellow hair, and all say, what a nice girl, how can she be like this, how did you do? So they were so much amazed and in admiration with her. So that happened to her. So in this case, the evil eye has become strong, like sorcery, like if someone has done magic on her hair, on her body, so she will look like that. So at that time, we will treat it like sorcery. Now, coming back to jinn, most of the time, jinn is due to sihr, is related to sihr. Most of the time, about 90 to 95% or more, the jinns are sent by sihr. They're not here for any other reason than sihr has sent them. So we do not need to diagnostic the jinns particularly. We just diagnostic and treat the sihr. When the sihr is gone, the jinn also will go, but also the treatment that is removing the sihr, that will be the treatment needed to remove those jinns that came by that sihr. So we do not need mostly to make a specific diagnostic and a specific program for the jinns. Now, jinns can, if jinns did not come by sihr, jinns can come by revenge. Someone would do something without saying Bismillah, like pouring hot water, going to the toilet. Even when urinating, you can burn the jinns and they'll take revenge. So even in those cases, when the jinns has come by revenge, or the jinn has come by love, when the person removes his clothes without saying Bismillah, the jinns can see him and fall in love with him. Of course, if a person is doing sins, sexual sins, such as looking at videos or whatever, any kind of sexual sins, that also attracts evil jinns, and they can fall in love with him. So even if the jinn has come for another reason, for a reason of revenge or reason of love, most of the time there is sihr inside the person already has sihr, and that sihr allowed the jinn to hit him, to the jinn to come into him and to do all that to him. And that sihr will protect the jinn and give him strength, even if he's not related to that sihr in the first place. So this is why in most cases the jinn comes back to treating the sihr. So this is to say that these three problems, the nazar, the ayn, evil eye, the jinn, and also the sihr, the sorcery, come back to treating the sihr. So how to remove the sihr? So to remove the sihr, it depends how the sihr has been done. And it does not depend on what it has been done for. For example, sihr has been done to separate a couple. This sihr could be eaten, the sihr could be put in the house, the sihr could be put in a graveyard. It could be done by any means. So what we need to know in order to remove the sihr is to understand how it is done. To understand how it is done. And there are 4 ways of doing sihr. The first way is eaten. So when the sihr is eaten, mostly it will provoke problems, digestive problems. So digestive problem, it is mostly burning, acidity in stomach. That is the most thing. And it can do any kind of digestive problem, constipation, swallowing, the tummy, diarrhea, pills, colon disease, ulcer. It can also make cancer in the intestines. It can be anywhere from the entrance to the exit. So for all these kinds of illness, anything that is related to the stomach, to the digestive system, we give sana makki. We give the sana, and we try to give approximately the quantity that is necessary for to remove all the sihr. So when the sana is taken, it gives diarrhea, and in some cases, some rare cases, the person does not get diarrhea. So if he does not, we'll double the the quantity. Instead of putting 1 big spoon with half a liter, he will put 2 big spoons with half a liter. Inshallah, it will give him diarrhea. And so we double the quantity. So the sana empties the stomach, the intestines. So you should also tell the patient, you should also ask if he's working and what kind of job he's doing. Because if he's sitting in an office, he can go to the toilet anytime. But if he's driving or doing some other kind of job where he cannot, for example, teaching, it will be difficult, so we'll have to take it in the days it does not work. So it's going to empty the stomach, and when it removes sihr, it gives pain, like something is being ripped off, like if there is glue on your skin and you're taking it off. So that shows that that confirms that he has eaten sihr. So he's going to drink it again and again until there is no pain anymore. So we, when the patient comes, we try to, I wouldn't say to guess, we try to evaluate, to estimate how much he needs. So, for example, if someone is having a lot of pains in his stomach and a lot of problems in his life, we give him treatment for 12 days. If he's got a lot of problems in his life, but not a lot of problems in his stomach, we give him 8 days. And if someone has a lot of problems in his life and no problem in his stomach at all, we give him for 4 days, just to check. He will do it for 4 days, then when he comes back, all of them, when they come back, we ask them, so what did it do? They said, well, give me a lot of diarrhea. I said, well, did it give you pain? So now he has to think, did it give him pain? Was the pain in the beginning the same as in the end? Was it less pain in the end? Did the pain go in the end? That's what we want. So if by the end the pain did not finish, we will give him more sanamaki and try to estimate how it was doing from the beginning to end, to continue that curve so that it will end. So we'll give him more days. Well, it happens that we give sana for 4 days and the person says it was terrible. So we give him for 12 days. So he'll continue until it is finished. Well, for sana, you must know that for young children that have babies, it is very possible that they had sihr from their mother. When the mother is pregnant and she has sihr, would it be done during the pregnancy or before? Would that sihr be done against the children or just for the mother? Most of the time it passes on to the child. And it passes on to the child like in shape of eaten. That means the child eats the sihr in the womb of his mother. Even if the sihr of the mother is not eaten, it's made with her photo in a grave, or however it could be done, for the child it is eaten. And that sihr on the child has the effect of giving him a weak health, and especially he will have stomach problems, and also a difficult character. That child mostly would be reluctant, refusing deen and studies and obeying to parents. So he'll be a difficult child. That's what it mostly does. Children do difficult behavior and with weak health. Now it can also make a child to be disabled, totally disabled, physically or mentally disabled. More or less, he could be just deaf, for example. Deaf, dumb. Deaf is years. So he could be deaf, for example, or any other kind of being disabled. So when you get these children, always make sure you give them sana for 4 days. Now it's not sure that he had the sihr from his mother. Well, ask about the mother. Ask her if she's having problems. If she had problems during the pregnancy, bad dreams, etc., illness, problem with her husband. So that will confirm that something has happened to her and that thing has passed on to her child. So in case you have these kind of children, make sure you give them 4 days of sana. Now, if the child is breastfeeding from his mother, that is the simplest case. Give the sana to the mother and it will clean out the child. Now, if the child will take that milk from his mother, it will give him diarrhea. So you must tell the mother to make him drink so he does not get dehydrated. So it does not get dried. So she must give him some water with a bit of sugar or something to drink, because if he's getting diarrhea because of the senamek. If the woman is pregnant, that's even better, because she just has to take the sana and do the treatment, and that will clean out the baby. And alhamdulillah, we don't have problem with pregnant women doing the treatment, the cupping, the washing, the oil and the sana, no problem. And it is much better for the child, because once the child is born with sihr, it can have a big impact that will not be able to be corrected in the future. Well, once we had a lady, she had sihr to lose her babies, and she was losing her babies, and she came, she was pregnant, and she had sihr to lose the baby, and we told her to do the treatment, but she was afraid of the sana to make her lose the baby, etc. So she didn't do it, and she lost the baby. Well, that means that maybe the person will take the sana and will lose the baby, but that baby will have been lost anyway. But if the pregnancy has been gone over 4 or 5 months, there's no more risk, inshallah. May Allah Ta'ala help us. So this is talking about the sana. Now if it is small children, of course you have to reduce the quantity of sana according to their body. So for small children, usually you give 1 glass. If they get bigger, you give 2 glasses. And if it is, so if he's bigger, he'll take the half liter. That's 3 or 4 glasses, like any person. So I was saying that we treat sihr according to the way it has been done. For example, if the sihr is eaten, so that will give pains in the stomach, in digestive problems. Now, if the person has taken a lot of sana, and still it is still giving him pain, so what can we do? Well, we can do the cupping on the tummy, on different places. Usually we do a triangle, 1 in the middle and 2 on the sides. Well, we can do that. That might help. That might help. It's not sure, but we might as well try. And if the person has taken too much sana, we can replace the sana by milk and honey. So you read Ruqyah, or the person will read Ruqyah on the milk and the honey, and take in the morning on empty stomach 1/2 liter of milk and 3 big spoons of honey. So the milk and the honey both make diarrhea, and with Quran, inshallah, we hope it will remove the sihr. That has worked, alhamdulillah, for some people. Now, of course, someone could say, well, why not directly replace the sana by milk and honey, because it is more complicated and it costs much more to give honey to each person, and it does not give such strong diarrhea as the sana makes, so it's not as that much efficient. So the problem with the milk is that you have to open the milk to read the Ruqyah, and once you open the milk, it cannot last long. So either the person is going to read on that milk every day or 2 days, or what he can do, he can take the water where Quran has been read and mix it with milk powder. So that is very easy. So you have your same water and you add milk powder. You don't need to read the Ruqyah on the milk powder, and then you add the honey where the Ruqyah has been read, and you drink that in the morning. So there are also in different countries local products to make diarrhea, and traditional products, traditional herbs or whatever, to empty the stomach. So if you go to the people who sell that and you ask them which product is used to remove the sihr, because they have, I mean, it does exist in all cultures, what things to use to remove the sihr. So you take that thing is going to give you, and the way you have to drink it, because it is different way. It's not like always like sana to boil 1 big spoon with ½ liter. It depends how to take that thing, and you just take it with Quranic water. So that will empty your stomach, inshallah, also, and remove the sihr. So any local product also can be used if the people know. I mean, everybody can know it. It empties the stomach, but also if they know that removes the sihr that has been eaten. So I was saying that to remove the sihr, you have to know how it is done. And the sihr can be done in 4 different ways. So the first way is the eaten one, and for that we give sana. The second way is put in the body. So they send the jinn and they put the sihr in the body. So what is the use of this jinn, of the sihr that is put in the body? The use, it has many uses. The first use is to block the functioning of some part of the body. Well, the most common example is for the ovaries of women. So they put the sihr in the ovaries to stop a woman becoming pregnant, to stop a woman getting married, to stop a woman having relations with her husband. So that will block anything related to sexuality of the woman. And that usually gives painful menses. Painful menses. And that pain sometimes is felt in the back, and sometimes it's felt in the front, and sometimes on both sides. So always be attentive when you have female patients about do they have pain. So you must put the cupping on the ovaries and also on the back, if she has pain on the back. If she doesn't have pain in front, you still put the cupping in front on the ovaries, but you put the cupping in the back only if she has pain. So we put the cupping for two reasons. Either there's pains or there's dysfunctioning. So something that's not working, like a woman cannot be pregnant, we will do the cupping on the ovaries even if she does not have pain. And if she does have pain, we'll put the cupping also. So anything that is painful on the body or anything that is dysfunctioning. So concerning pains, the main places we ask for are the head, the chest, the heart, the stomach, well that is for sana, not for cupping, the back, for women the ovaries, and the legs, knees or other parts of the legs. But we first ask the person, does he have any pains? Does he have any pains? So if there's a pain that is bothering him, he will express it. It could be anywhere. Then we ask systematically for all those parts of the body, not all the body, because that's too complicated, but those parts of the body. And many people, subhanallah, you say, do you have any pains? No, I don't have any pain. Well, do you have headaches? Oh yes, I have headaches. Do you have chest pain? Oh yes, I have chest pain. Do you have back pain? Oh yes, I have back pain. And this and that. And finally you find they have all the pains. So don't trust when someone tells you he has no pains, and ask for all the details of his body, even if it is fast. Same thing for the dreams. We'll come back to the dreams inshallah. So now when the person has these pains, well, mostly these pains are not understandable, because medically speaking, a normal person should not have any kind of pains. So if he's having pains regularly, headaches or chest pains or back pains, there's something wrong. I mean, it's not normal. I mean, a normal human being does not have pains. There must be a cause to those pains. So once pains are happening again and again with no cause, with nothing evident, so it is likely to be jinn or sihr or ayn, evil eye. So anyway, we put the cupping on all those pains. So yes, how can we be sure it is sihr? We're not sure it is sihr. We don't have to be sure it is sihr. And cupping is a remedy for 40 diseases. Yet, you will find in most of the cases it is sihr. And in most of the cases, the person will be relieved. By the time he does the treatment, all those pains have gone. Alhamdulillah. And even if there is a cause to the pain, if there is a cause, for example, someone has broken his knee, and then he's got pain in the knee, he's done operations, he's done everything, but yet the pain is lasting, or he's broken his back, and he's got pain in the back, etc. So even if there is a cause, you still do cupping. Why? Because, first of all, if there is a cause, that does not mean there's no sihr, no jinn. It could also be the jinn. It could also be the sihr. It is possible that they did sihr on the person, so he gets that accident, and that's how the pain is staying there. And it is also possible that the person has a problem in his body, and when the jinn comes, or sihr is sent, it will go into that weak point in his body, to make it weaker, and to make him suffer. And that's where the jinn will hide. And now, even if there is absolutely no relation between that pain and jinn and sihr, so alhamdulillah, the cupping could remove it, even if it is not jinn or sihr. So this is why you must not neglect to put the cupping in any place where there is a problem. I once had a patient, he was mashallah, a strong man, very healthy, and he had a problem of blockages of his business. And he told me that physically he had nothing except one point in his shoulder blade that is sort of itching or moving or disturbing him, just that point. And not really painful, but something like moving there, like disturbing him. So we put the cupping on that place. And then when we did the jinn catching, a jinn came and he said he was there to block his life. And he was there, and the sihr was there. And the sihr was in that place in the shoulder blade. So you see, sometimes the sihr is put inside the body just to be hidden. Just that, because it is very difficult to find a healer, a raqi, that will use hijama. And it is only the hijama that will remove it. It is only the hijama. Before we used hijama, we used to do 7 treatments on a lady that has sihr in the ovaries. So we read Quran on her, we give her water to wash. It was 7 days at that time. She will come back, we'll do it again and again and again and again and again. 7 times she comes and we read, and she